Hey gang, Spade of the Baltmatrix here, and today we are taking a look at the Kre-O Toys release of Dial and Zaur. Dial is here, he is C123, and Zaur is here, he is C124. The boxes, as you can see, are classic G1 Japanese boxing, and they look very good. So let's go ahead and get these suckers out of the box and take a look at what's inside. Within each box we have a tray that contains the figure, a sheet of stickers, and the figure's weapons in a bag. We have the instructions, a nice little card here that is in Japanese that I cannot read, and the classic G1 stats displayer. So there are the stats for Dial, and here are the stats for Zaur. So let's go ahead and get all this off to the side, and we will start off by taking a look at Dial. Now for both of these figures I decided not to put the stickers on, and that's simply because the stickers are not very good quality, and they have this weird film to them that I'm a little worried about. Dial's tape mode is really not very convincing. I do not care for this tape mode. I think it's because of the strange disposition or discoloration of the figure. And by discoloration I mean the juxtaposition, I can talk. The different colors don't work. As you can see, there's already an issue, which I will talk about a little later, and that's the looseness of these screws, which I'll talk about in a bit. But as I said, I don't really care for the tape mode. It just doesn't work for me. The transformation, however, is pretty easy. Just fold down these parts and flip out the feet. Fold the tail down, and then get your nail in here and fold this part out for the rest of the tail. Fold the head up and fold the hands out. And then we'll just attach the weapons. The figure itself doesn't look too bad. He is supposed to be an iguanodon, but it doesn't really work. Here's his box art, and here's the figure. It doesn't really work for me. The other issue I have with this figure is he has a lot of trouble standing up on his own. If you just leave his legs closed like that, he will stand on his own until you move the table or bump the table, and then he just falls right over. And the primary issue is because his legs are just so loose. I mean, this is titanium Megatron loose we're talking about here. And you can't really fix these, as these aren't screws so much as, they're more rivets than screws. If you split the legs apart just a little bit, that does add quite a bit of stability, but it also causes the figure to fall forward. And if you just get it right, if you just fiddle with it, you could just get it right where he will stand on his own. Now that's not to say he's awful, but I'm not too keen on Dial. It's not that he's awful. He would be a lot better if these issues were fixed right out of the box. But, for a knockoff, it's not bad. And I say that because this guy runs in the high hundreds on auction sites and on eBay and whatnot. So a pretty cheap knockoff isn't too bad. So now that we've taken a look at Dial, let's go ahead and take a look at Zaur. So here is Zaur in tape mode with his weapons. Now Zaur's tape mode is a little bit more convincing, but it's still a little bit funny. Transformation, though, is significantly easier. Take it so that you see the head facing down, and unfold the head there, unfold the tail there, and then just reach under here, or under the bottom, and fold out the feet, where they will pop off, especially on my figure. And there we go. And then the only thing we have to do is add the guns. And I prefer to put the guns on the back, but you can put them wherever you want. Now, one thing I did notice is he has 2 right guns. So that is a problem, or 2 left guns, I'm sorry. And that is a problem. I doubt, I've already reached out to Kre-O Toys and I have not heard back from them, so I doubt I will hear back from them. So, between the two, I rather like Zaur a little better. I think he works a little better. The Brontosaurus or Apatosaurus mold or idea just works better for this. But he does have other bits that just continue to flop about, and he does have this weird turn to him, but that's part of the combining transformation. He's not bad, but he's not great. But as I said, he's just a knockoff, and considering the price that you pay for a G1 original, I'll go with the knockoff, thank you. So I've returned both figures to tape mode so we can begin the merging. So we'll start off with Zaur here, and his merge sequence is pretty darn easy. Turn it so that the head faces up, then fold the head down all the way like that, fold the tail down all the way, and then take the figure and fold it in half, and then take the head and the tail and fold them all the way around back to form heels, and then reach up into what is the shins and pull out what are the feet. And on the one side it's really easy, on the other side it's a little more difficult. So the figure will actually stand kind of like that. So we just want to get him to the point where we can move on, and that's it, we can move on. Now Dial is significantly more complex. We're going to start off by making sure that what would be the feet are pointing to your right. So what we'll do is then we will take this and turn it so that the iguana arms are pointing to your right, and then take what would be the dinosaur legs and fold them all the way forward like this and down. And then take what would be the tail, fold it up, let it latch into place, and fold it down like that. Then take the dino head and fold it, detach it from the rest of the figure, and fold it so it's pointing straight back. What then that allows you to do is then come up front here and fold open the dinosaur legs to form the robot arms, and then you're able to fold down the robot chest. Now, the combination of the two is where I think this falls apart, because this is supposed to just gently slide right on top of this guy. And these holes are supposed to be indented so that the rivets slide into them, but they don't. And my figure really doesn't work all that well. So it does fold in, it does slide in, and you're supposed to just be able to fold this down like that, but it doesn't really work all that well. Things get bent and start pointing in weird directions, and it just doesn't really work. And then you take the guns, to do the guns, you lift up the arm and take Zaur's guns, and you're supposed to be able to push them in, and on my figure, things don't line up right, and things get in the way, so normally I just leave those off. And I'll reach for Dial's guns. And Dial's guns plug in just below the head, and I think that works a lot better. So here we have leg out. And I'm sorry, even for just a little tape transformer, this thing is a mess. Regardless of if this is a knockoff or not, this thing is just a mess. Now, the way he's supposed to look, or he's drawn, is significantly different. I mean, significantly different than the way the toy looks. And that was just a G1 thing, really. I really can't recommend this set. You know, if you've got to have it, or if you're morbidly curious, go ahead and pick it up. But I really can't recommend it. It's so tiny. I mean, it's really tiny. Here is a 5th generation iPod next to it, and the iPod towers over it, or iPod Nano, I should say. So I really can't recommend it. I'm sorry. I am glad that it exists, but unfortunately I cannot recommend this set. There are just too many quality control issues. I mean, you could see some of them here, and he doesn't want to combine. It just doesn't work. Now, I have seen directions for the original figure, and there are supposed to be tabs that you can plug into, but those don't exist in the knockoff. So, anyway, this is Spada saying, you know what, guys, just save your money. Just walk away from Lake Out.